Have you watched these pro-abortion, pro-murder rallies? The people are just disgusting.
Yes, that is Matt Gaetz saying that he, once again, doesn't like the pro-choice protesters because they're not hot enough for him. There's a lot more to that. Here he continues with his thought.
Like, why is it that the women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions? Nobody wants to impregnate you if you look like a thumb. These people are odious on the inside and out. They're like 5'2", 350 pounds, and they're like, give me my abortions or I'll get up and march and protest. And I'm thinking, march? You look like you got ankles weaker than the legal reasoning behind Roe versus Wade. A few of them need to get up and march. They need to get up and march for like an hour a day, swing those arms, get the blood pumping, maybe mix in a salad.
Ankles weaker than the constitutional base. Clunky, Matt, clunky. You gotta do some editing there.
Bad delivery, bad timing.
Bad delivery, clunky joke, horrible human being. And it, when he said that, he said, why, like the women who like won't get pregnant anyway, like don't you hear the sort of like internet comment that you see a lot, which is like, you're not hot enough to be raped? Like that's something you see all the time. And here you have it. It's a little bit different. He didn't say rape, but he basically said to be impregnated or to get pregnant, right? And you're like, okay, this all still feels and sounds insanely coercive, obviously misogynistic, but like to me, it's the same violent language. And yet this is the id of the Republican Party as it stands. And it makes sense that they're the Turning Point conference where again, it's a bunch of like teeny boppers, and Matt Gaetz is, well, that's his demographic, let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Gaetz' incel arc is not like exactly the most surprising thing, and you could tell me it was gonna happen. But I mean, at the end of the day, Matt Gaetz thinks that these people protesting abortion aren't attractive because they're over the age of 18. I mean, he prefers his women to be substantially younger than that. And I mean, Jesus Christ, Matt, like every time you open your mouth and you say something insane, it's just another chance for Matt Gaetz as a pedophile to trend on Twitter, right? Yes. Anytime you put yourself out there like this, I can't imagine being Matt Gaetz' PR person. That's got to be the most nightmarish job, because every day he says something heinous and everyone's like, hey, rapey McForehead, remember that thing that you were pretty credibly accused of doing and there's a grand jury investigation into? Huh. Yes. I mean, like, just Jesus Christ, dude.
Remember when your boy pled like to Donald Trump to try and get a pardon in the waning days of his presidency? That was fun. So let's just go to that. In case you forgot, federal investigation into Gaetz was reportedly opened it was opened in the final months of Donald Trump's administration as a result of a previous investigation into a political ally of the Florida Congressman Joel Greenberg, who pleaded guilty to sex trafficking. The Washington Post reported that Gaetz used to set up dates with women in exchange for dinner or hotel stays, something that could be illegal if there was a clear exchange of money for sex. The newspaper also reported that Greenberg wrote a letter directly accusing Gaetz of paying for sex with women. And one of those was, or multiple potentially, were women under the age of 18 who he would Venmo. The Daily Beast reported that Gaetz transferred $900 to Greenberg on Venmo, saying, hit up blank, using a nickname for the 17-year-old. And that 17-year-old may have been brought in from out of state to Florida. Just a tag team of old, like, again, yes, rapey douchebags, targeting and preying on young women. And speaking of that, so this is Gaetz doubling, tripling down on this. So he tweeted, standard raised, in response to Newsmax, saying Florida Representative Matt Gaetz blasted abortion activists in a rant sure to raise dander of his political opponents. And then with an image of a woman that says, who's got a shirt that says "Bands Off Our Bodies." And you can assume this is a judgment about how she looks, who she is. But that was Olivia Julianna, and she clapped back real good.
Got his ass.
She got his ass. She wrote back to him on Twitter, am I not a little too old for you, Matt? I know you have a thing for targeting teenagers, but 19 is on the cusp, don't you think? And then she continues, my rule is if you're gonna attack me for my looks, you better be hotter than me. And to be blunt, Matt Gaetz is one of the ugliest things to crawl out of the pits of Florida.
That's a rare insult. To be the ugliest thing out of Florida is tough. It's tough.
It's so good. And yeah, you're worse than the Gators. And also it's funny that he's like, you look like a thumb, because he straight up does look like a thumb with that sort of like, when you like push a Ken doll's head in, you know what I'm saying? Like there's like, I mean, I used to do that as like, you get bored with Barbies and stuff. So you just push the head in.
Their faces, yeah.
Yeah, that's what Matt Gaetz looks like all the time. And again, like it's funny, but this is a sitting effing congressperson.
Yeah.
Like, can Kevin McCarthy respond to this? Can there be anything? Can there ever be a public stance that Republican men or women? I mean, God, Susan Collins could say something, won't make a difference. But what is too far for them? What is beneath them? You've already got your wish of obliterating abortion rights, and now you're gonna be like, nah, you're not hot enough to force a pregnancy on. No, it's all out the window. I'm sure Clarence Thomas is there going like, hey, yeah. Like he loves that stuff. Kavanaugh too, oh my God.
Oh yeah, this is definitely like Kavanaugh-esque, juvenile humor. I mean, and even like, if you're gonna go there, Matt Gaetz, at least be funny. That forced ass joke about the Constitution, like, come on, dude. Like that sucked. It was bad delivery. You're doing insult comedy to a crowd of incels. I mean, who the hell is paying money to go to a Turning Point USA conference? You got to be down horrendous to be shelling out money to go see Matt Gaetz speak live.
Oh my God, it's so true. And we didn't even play when Ted Cruz came out to like as if it was like a Thunderdome situation. And by the way, the jokes that he did land were straight up lifted from George Carlin's like very wonderful, famous bit about abortion rights, where he says like, how come people who are anti-choice are people you would never want to screw anyway? Like that's the bit, that's the joke. Gaetz absolutely saw that and was just like, oh, I'm gonna flip it. And then here you go. And again, it's you're not worthy of being forced to carry my kid. I can't. That guy's married. He's married, Ray. He's got a wife.
Yeah, she's got to be. I mean, first of all, they got married after the pedophilia allegations came out. They got married despite the fact that her sister said that Matt Gaetz was extremely creepy to her and tried to hook her up with like a 45-year-old man. He's just embarrassing you every day. He goes out to embarrass you. Like, it's so sad. I feel bad for her to some extent, but I mean, she chose to marry him after he was accused of pedophilia. So maybe she doesn't have a problem with it.
If she stays with him, I'm gonna be like, there's no more gravy train to ride, girl. What are you doing?
Yeah,
Please love yourself harder, Republican women. Just love yourself. Like I just want to cover you in like stickers that are be like, just say the girl power on them. Do you need that from me? I want to cover you like a water bottle from a 13-year-old girl. All right, just like, just love yourself. Make affirmations, whatever you need to do to get out of being Matt Gaetz's wife.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.